Hi there, Mystery Baker here. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome, welcome. And for those who are new to the channel, thanks for joining me. And those who are regulars, big hello, big hello. Now, I wanted to show you how to pretty your cake boards. And I know that it's not really a subject that people go on about, but it does actually improve and just add that extra va-va-voom, okay? So what I've done, and all you need to do to prepare is get a cake board, any cake board. I prefer the ones that have about, 13mm thickness. And you just add some water or some edible glue to your board, and you mix a little bit of CMC Tylose powder. Well, I do anyway. I just like it to harden. And that's why I've got some greaseproof paper here. Greaseproof paper, not greaseproof, cling film, just so that it doesn't dry out while I'm talking to you. And so here we have it. And I'm not expecting a lot of people popping in, but a big hello if you are here. I hope you can hear me okay. One disclaimer, I have animals. I have two little Bichons and they sometimes bark, so apologies in advance. And I want to really crack on really because I've added some Tylose powder to my fondant and I've just literally put some water on my board and rolled out the fondant and then laid it down and then smoothed it with my smoother. And so it's nice and polished, okay? And you can make whatever colours you want, but I'm going to be doing some painting today. And I wanted to show you how easy it is to make a wood effect to your cake board. So before I begin, have you got a cup of coffee if you have joined me? A big hello. Say hi if you can hear me okay, if that's all right. Just or a thumbs up if you don't want to. Hi, Natalie. Welcome. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove my cling film. And as you can see, it's still soft fondant. I've added a little bit of CMC, not too much, but just enough. And I've made it around about 3 to 4mm thick. You can make it as thick as you want, but around about that thickness. And I've just rolled it out, placed it on, and then cut off the excess. And that's as simple as that. Now, over here, bring this over. I don't want to damage. I've just got some of my gel colours. And I've got this teddy bear brown that I bought from Amazon the other day. And I've just put some cocktail stick inside and put it on a palette. You don't need to, you can use a plate. But I thought I'd borrow this off my daughter because she loves pink and so do I. And I've also got some black. So I've got 2 lots of brown because I'll be using more of the brown and a little bit of black colour gel. Now you can buy already liquid paint, edible, but I'm just utilising what I've got. Now, you can add water to these colours, but I don't like to because the water takes longer for the paint to dry. So, not that I drink a lot. You'd think I did, but I've got some vodka here and I use vodka. You can use gin. And the reason why you use alcohol is because it evaporates and the alcohol will be removed. There will be no vodka alcohol left. It will evaporate, leaving just the paint, and then the paint will dry a lot quicker. Hope that helps. I hope that's making sense. So I'm going to just start now because I'll do the adding of the vodka to the paint later. I want to crack on with the wood effect. So I hope you can see okay. And I've got a ruler. I prefer the steel rulers, but just use whatever you've got. I misplaced my big ruler. I have no clue where it went. I had to buy another. So here it is. But you'll need a ruler and you'll need a scribing tool. Or you can use a ball tool. Let me just show you a ball tool. Maybe not that one, but you can use a ball tool. But I like my little trusted scribing tool. I think it makes such a difference. It makes such a difference. So we're wanting to create And forgive me now, because I'm going to just get on and do this section. And then if you've got any questions, please ask, and I will try to answer you. But I need to move quickly because this fondant has been sat around, and I've also added CMC powder. So it's going to need some quick movements. So with my ruler, nothing technical here. I don't do difficult because I can't. And I'm going to place it down, and I'm just going to rule down that section. And I'll do it again to make it quite firm. You don't want to go all the way through the fondant, but you want to leave a mark. And very gently lift that off. Can you see? Hope that's picking up. Hi, Alison. Hi, Natalie. And we then place the ruler back on where that line is. So place it on where the line is. Sorry, I have really bad eyesight. Oh dear. And you get your scribing tool, and again, gentle pressure at first, and just make a mark across. And again, and lift. And you basically go along doing this. Now, I apologize if it's not straight, but I can't actually see. Hello there. Saw somebody just coming in there. Hello. And I'll just very quickly recap. What I've done is I've covered my cake board in fondant. And how I did that was I just applied some water. You can apply edible glue, but for demonstration purposes, it was just water. And I rolled out my fondant just like I would if I was covering a cake. And then I placed it on, smoothed it out, and then cut off the excess. And it's as simple as that. No problem, ladies, if you're late. Better late than never, I say. So I'm placing it on the line that I've just created with my scribing tool. I've told you I use this so much. I don't know if anybody's got hold of a scribing tool and if they've been using it as regularly as I do, but it's such a great tool. And lift away. Can you see what I'm doing? I hope this is good. I can't actually see what I'm doing. I'm just guessing. But at least you can see, girls. What are you all been up to today? Anything interesting I'd like to hear? As I say, this is the most creative part of this job. And I'm creating or replicating planks of wood. I'll just do another one just for luck. Well, it doesn't matter if you go off with your scribing tool, and all will be explained later. And then back on and keep going along until you've completed it. And if I'm shouting, I'm sorry. I'm really next to my mobile phone here and the microphone end. And I'm just moving it across as I go. See how it's made I made a boo-boo there. Can you see? I can see it. Wow, that's terrible. But not to worry, because I will just continue. Because there's no such thing as an accident with cake decorating. They can easily be disguised. Never worry. And the great thing you'll learn about cake decorating is it's not how to make something wonderful. It's to hide a multitude of mistakes, errors, and sins. I promise you that. And once you learn that, the pressure eases. There's no such thing. I call them happy accidents. And there's no such thing as a mistake as such, because it can be hidden, it can be solved, and there's no need to panic. So I've just made a mistake there. But that doesn't matter, because I will cover that. Believe me, trust me on it. Trust me on it. So I'm nearly to the end now. As I say, just gentle pressure and using the edge of the ruler for your scribing tool to roll along. And one last one. Almost. And there. Okay. Now where I've made my mistake, and I can see it on the screen, can't really see it here, but I can see it on the screen. I'm just going to do that again, and we'll sort that out later. But so there we've started with our planks. Okay. Now I want intermittent planks. I don't want. I'm just looking now. I'll use this ruler. I don't want just to keep it like this. I want to put some interest on there, all right? And the reason I'm just talking right now and not looking at the board is because I need to get on really, because this section is the one you'll need to get on with. You can't mess around at this point because the CMC powder that I've added will dry out. I mean, it won't be quick, but I want... Oh, I can't get this ruler out. This is from... Right, I've got it. It's okay. I'm here. So I've got a little ruler, but you don't have to. You can use the same one, all right? And intermittently, I'm just going to put from each plank just some division so that the planks look like they are not all one length. Can you see that? And then maybe over here, I'll do another. Sorry if I'm in the way. I really can't see a thing. Ha! Should have thought about this, shouldn't I? But can you see how I'm intermittently placing some... Actually, I'll see if I can get my glasses on, see if that will help. Oh, that helps a lot. It helps if I put my glasses on. I thought I was being clever by not wearing them. And we're just going around and just wherever you think. There's no right or wrong way. But I'm just going to, maybe up here, I might do a little one up here. That's there. Yeah. Maybe along here. You'll see why. It's just to add to the wood effect. Okay. You do what you do. Might add a little one here. And again, just go along like so. Like that. And that is basically the beginning of the wood effect. I'm going to take my glasses off now because again, I can't see a thing. I'm I'm short-sighted and I'm also long-sighted now. So both my sight is going. It's really bad. I mean, I've always worn glasses, but this is ridiculous. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make each plank as an individual. I'm going to treat each plank as an individual and I'm going to give it some texture so that when the paint is applied, or the edible paint, it absorbs into those cracks. And we need to replicate wood. So I'll start with this one. I hope I'm not boring you guys. And very gently, I'm just going to then scratch. So I'm scratching that particular plank. Can you see? Deep indentations, like so. And then light indentations. So going right to the edge, like so. I hope that's picking up. And then we're back to this one. And again, we just start scratching. And I kind of scratch more at the edges. So it looks like it's aged wood. I'm going for an aged wood effect. And then scratching again here. All will be revealed. I hope that's picking up. Can you see it? Can you see that, everyone? I'm sorry. I hope you can. And again, I'm doing each plank as an individual. All right? Doing each plank. And maybe here we have one of those knots, you know those knots? So I'll do like a knot like that. How you would have in wood, you know, those knots. Yes, you can see. Brilliant. Brilliant. So again, I'm going to start. And this is the most, it's quite therapeutic, you know. I mean, I'll be totally honest with you. I know that it's stressful doing lives, but it is for me. But cake decorating and things like that, I mean, the cake board in itself can be made well in advance and there's no pressure and you can just play. And I think having a wood effect on your cake board is quite lovely. And it's such a therapeutic thing to do. So again, I'm attacking each plank as an individual. And creating a little bit more depth at the edges just to give it an aged look. And again, starting here. And maybe some crisscrosses Don't make it this. Don't make them all the same. You know, just crisscross. Make it interesting. And as you go to the edge, just put more depth in there. And again, we just keep going. And I find cake decorating very therapeutic. And I just love it, I have to say. Now I'm talking to myself now. But I do. And making something like this is very therapeutic for me. So again, see how easy it is. There's not a technique. It's just being a little bit creative. Oh, I've made a little dell, but hey, there's no such thing as mistakes. There's happy accidents. And I'm just putting a knot in that one as it would in real wood. Okay, like that. And like this. I hope it's picking up on camera. Is it? Can you tell me? Is it picking up the scratches that I'm making? I hope so, for your sake, because it won't be very interesting. And I love this part. I really do. And as I say, you can make it in advance, so there's no pressure, there's no deadline, and you can create something pretty. Now I'm painting this wood in a wood effect with wood colours, but you can use pinks and, you know, pastel colours too. You can see it. Brilliant, Natalie, thank you. I always worry that you're not able to see what I can see. And I can see more now because I'm closer now. I've come a little bit closer. So we're on the home straight. And once I've done these lines, I can relax a little because the indentations have been made, and I can have a chat, have a drink, and talk to you, see what's going on. And so, and then we're on the home straight. So as again, just gently but effective. And because you've made the fondant about 3 to 4 millimeters thick, it's thick enough to get a good embossing and some lines in. If you go too thin and roll it far too thin, when you start scratching, it will pierce and go through to the cake board, if that makes sense to you. And I think we're almost there. Yeah. And then because it's wood, I'm going to put some little holes, like little old nails that used to be there. And I'm just going to do that randomly, nowhere specific. But yeah, some little holes there. And that's it. So that's that section. I'm going to grab a drink that's beside me. Has anybody got any questions so far? Have I covered everything? Is there something I've missed? Because sometimes when I start on a tutorial, I sometimes ramble. So you could leave this to dry. You don't have to attempt or tackle the paint at this point, but I am because this is a demonstration for you guys. So I'm going to move that over. No, I'll just move that over like that. Move that over gently, gently. And I'm going to bring over my colour gels. As I say, add your favourite. Add your favourite. You don't have to make it wood tones. You can make it pastel pink, pastel green, grey. It doesn't have to be, but I thought the brown would stand out for you. Now I've got some different kind of paint brushes here, but you know, choose your favourites. And I have a brown colour gel and I have a black. And I'll show you if it's picking up. There's my black, and I've got two browns because I probably will use more of the brown than I will the black. And the reason why I use two colours is because it creates dimension, and it creates, rather than it just being flat, it will create dimension. And how I change my gel to more of a paint is I add alcohol. You can add water, but I think it makes the fondant very soft and wet whereas the alcohol will evaporate. Okay, so I've got a little bit of vodka here. I promise you I won't be drinking any. I promise. So I've put some in the cap, and I'll just bring it over like that, add a touch. And because the alcohol evaporates, it will start evaporating as you're working with it too. So you just keep topping up if you need to. Just keep topping up. I'll move my alcohol out of the way. I don't want to knock that over. And there we have. So I'm going to remove the toothpicks that have had the brown solution on. And with a paint brush, I'll move that black one as well out of the way. And with the paintbrush, just going to mix. Okay, mix, and let's see the color. Yeah, it's nice dark color. If it's too dark, what you can do, here's the thing, here's something. If it's too dark, all you do, you just get a little bit more vodka, not a lot, don't need a lot. Add it into a spare part like that. I've added it into that spare shell. And you can add more vodka by mixing that and making that colour. All right. So let's begin, shall we? So I'll move my paints to the side. I know you won't be able to see them, but I just wanted to show you how to mix it. And that's how simple you make your paint. It's as simple as that. It's not rocket science. It's simple, I promise you. So I'm going to take my brown and start. And I'm just brushing it in one direction. Hope you can see that. Hope everyone's picking that up there. And what I tend to do is when you're using edible paint, do not go back over where you've been. Just keep moving. It's important that you keep moving and cover that. Can you see how it's moving inside the cracks that I've created to give it that wood effect? It's quite effective, isn't it? And we keep moving, going in to the nooks and crannies, like so, like that. And this is so, as I say, therapeutic is not the word. Therapeutic is not the word. It so is. It's back to my childhood days, painting at school. I don't know how good you guys were at art, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. And I'll just do one more section before I go back into that and show you what I do. And how effective is that looking? I mean, it's already looking like wood, isn't it? And I'm just using the one colour here. I haven't mixed anything. I haven't done anything spectacular. I'm just using the one colour. And can you imagine when this is dried and you're adorning your cake on it? How effective would that look? Absolutely magical, don't you think? So I'm going to go up to there for now, because I want to bring in more depth. Okay, I want to bring in more depth into the thing. So with another brush, not the brush that you've been using, I'm going to bring in this brush here. I'm just going to mix up some black, and I've already done it. I've added the vodka. And then where the hole is, I'm just going to put some in. Don't be frightened at this point, okay? Don't be frightened. And I'm just going to plodge some of that around like so. And then with my other brown brush, I bring it in and we start to add some texture here, okay? So we want to age it. We're trying to age that wood. I hope that's picking up there, how we're trying to age that wood. And just go along the major lines. You know where we made them with the ruler? Go along those major lines, okay? And you can add just some age, especially where them holes are. Just add some age to them. And then with your brown, you can just dodge. So you see how you're aging the wood like so. Very gently at this point because you've already put one coat on and when you don't want to drag too much off. But you see how it's aging the wood here? Go back to what I was doing earlier, just with the same brown that we mixed. One colour, it's not, I haven't added different colours. This is just the one colour. I'm just showing you there how you can age the wood and make it older. Or you can leave it looking new if you want that look. It's up to you. But I wanted to show you how you can age the wood. Okay, and we keep on going like so. Going in. It's very creative, this, isn't it? Very creative. And as I say, where the lines are, put in some darker colour. So exactly how it would be, you know, on real wood, it would be darker where the cracks are. Okay. And there we have that. Go in with some black. Again, how easy is that? I promise you, it's not difficult. It's not at all. Where that little knot is there, I'm going to emphasize that knot that I did. Do you remember I did that knot here? And I'm emphasizing it without adding some black. And there we go for now. Any questions? Any questions at this point, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Have you got a cup of coffee? Have you got a cup of tea? Have you got something stronger? I mean, I've got the vodka here. You know, we could have a party. But can you see how effective the wood is coming along here? Now I will have to add, I'll just move this aside. I will have to add at this point some more of the some more of the brown, for the simple reason it's already starting to evaporate. Can you see how it's starting to evaporate? And that's the great thing about using vodka rather than water. It's really, really good. So, wrong colour. Get my brown again, just out of the gel. Excuse me. Whoops, I dropped a bit there. Not to worry. Add a little bit of vodka. Add a little bit of vodka, like so. Not too much. Don't overload it because you'll make it too thin. And you want colour. You want colour. So mix that through till you're happy. And then back on. Okay, and you keep going like so. And it does, it just looks like wood. I think it does. I think it does. And don't be afraid of doing something like this, because if you don't try it, you'll never know. And I'm proving to you, I'm not doing anything spectacular. You know, you just need a little bit of confidence and a little bit of edible paint. Or in my case, you know, just colour gels. And then with a little bit of the black, I'm just going to bring a little bit more dimension in. And if I'm not happy, I can just dilute it and take it off. So, you know, there's easy ways. If I was to put far too much on, for example, I'll do it now. I'm going to put far too much black on, okay? I'll show you. I'm going to see how much black I've put on there. Okay? You think, uh-oh, what have you done? You've made a mistake. Well, no, I haven't, because watch. Just dip it back into the brown, like so, and just take it back off and put it elsewhere. Okay? You see? You can't make a mistake. I promise you. I promise you that. And look how effective it's coming along. And because I've added the vodka, it won't take that long to dry. I mean, to be honest with you, I would leave it overnight before I start putting a cake on there. But I would say a couple of hours and it'll be dry. Depending how many layers of paint you've put on. I'll just move this back in so you can see it easier. And it's starting to dry now as we speak. Especially over this side, I can already tell that that's what's happening. And I mean, you can keep on going, adding more and more dimension to the wood, or you can just leave it like that. I think I will just leave it like that. I won't add too much more, maybe just where the cracks are, so that they stand out a little. But that's how easy it is to add a wood effect to your cake board. And I'm doing a cake actually, and that's why I've done this demonstration. I'm actually doing my own birthday cake. I just decided, I thought, you know what, I'm going to make my own birthday cake. Why not? So I'm doing a baking themed cake. And yeah, I'm doing a baking themed cake, and I thought, right, I'll do a demonstration showing you how to do a wood effect. So you will see this cake board with the finished article. You will see it when I make the cake. And if you'd be interested, I'm going to do some of the elements for the cake. I will make tutorials with it. Alison, hi, Alison. Oh, it's brilliant. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. It was a little bit rushed, and you know what? I'm not actually anywhere near this cake. I'm stretching over. So, sorry, this cake board. So imagine how wonderful you'll be able to do it, Alison. Okay? You won't be, imagine if you're over it and able to get hold of it. You'll do a fantastic job, Alison, and Natalie, and everyone, everyone here. Give it a go. So yeah, I'm going to be making my own, and I'm going to be making, so I'm going to literally do everything and video it. So I'm going to do a baking themed cake. I'm going to make elements for the cake, and I'll video what elements. I mean, I won't video every single thing, but if anything is interesting that I'm going to make, I think I'm going to make some fondant cakes and fondant biscuits and fondant, yeah, because I'm doing a baking theme. So yeah, that might be interesting for you. But I'm also going to do a giant cupcake, and yeah, I'm going to do a chocolate giant cupcake, and it's a fantastic cake. Some years ago, when I first started cake decorating, I wasn't really interested in YouTube as such. And I saw this amazing cake artist. I will remember her name, and I will link it below. And she made this amazing giant cupcake, and I was, I couldn't afford her tutorials and at the time. And I just thought, I'm going to work out how she did it. And I did work it out, and I know how she does it, bless her. She didn't tell me, she didn't show me, but I kind of worked it out. So I will do a demonstration on this giant cupcake. I've done one before, but I was only showing you how to make the giant cupcake. This one, I'm going to start from scratch. I'm going to show you how I make my elements for my cake, because I always make them in advance. I always make the little bits that I'm going to apply to the cake. I always make them first, well in advance, at least a month in advance. Never usually longer than that, because I don't really make them that far in advance, but at least 3 weeks, at least 3 weeks. So I will start that very soon. And then I will show you how to make the giant cupcake and bake it, so my baking people will really enjoy that. And I'll also show you how to decorate it in this certain style. It's quite alternative. I like it. It's contemporary, and it's my kind of style. And she is this bit. Oh, what is her name? Right now I can't think. Oh, but anyway, she's very contemporary, a little bit like me. And like her, I don't like to put anything on the cake that you can't eat, usually. So everything on my cake will be edible. So it'll be interesting. I don't know if there'll be something you'll be interested in. And then what I would like to do is have my lovely subscribers send me their pictures of their creations if they are making cakes. I want them to pick up the confidence, send me their creations, and I will do a montage kind of all of your cake decorating. Yeah, that's basically what I want. I want you to trust in me. Send me your pictures. I really love seeing them anyway, and a lot of people already do that. I've had a couple today even that have just sent me over their pictures of their. It wasn't a cake they sent me, but it was other things. But you know, I have people all across the world sending me their pictures, and I thoroughly enjoy it. And I will be doing a little video of their creations as well. But this one I'm talking about is just for cakes. So if anybody's making a cake topper or has made something for a cake or has actually completed a cake, send me your pictures. I'm on Facebook, Mystery Baker. I'm on Instagram, Mystery Baker X, I think. And as I say, this will dry now. This will dry. You could add more colors to it, I'm sure, and I could keep going. But I always say, when you're ready to stop, just stop. And I'm ready to end that now, and that's finished as far as I'm concerned. And I will use that cake board, this one here, to put my giant cupcake on. Yeah. So, any questions? I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I always get a little bit nervous when I go live. Not so nervous today, which is good. Oh, I've got some questions. So if you have any questions, just drop them down here. If you forget or you're watching the replay, just put them in the comment box and I'll get back to you. So I've got one question from Mitzi. How much Tylose powder do you need to add for model making? I've got a tutorial on that, Mitzi, but basically I don't add my Tylose CMC powder to an entire block of fondant. I add it as I go because it dries out. So, but I do have a tutorial, and when this video is finished, I'll put that video in the link below for you. Oh, here's one. Here's a good question. Kitty Flo. She asked me this a while ago, and I didn't mention it. I never talked about it in my last live. But she says, have I any other hobbies other than cake decorating? Good question, Kitty. Yes, I do. Well, they're not really hobbies, I suppose. I do collect perfume. That's quite a strange hobby, I suppose. But I also love true crime. I'm a big true crime lover. And yeah, it's a childhood. It stemmed from my childhood. My dad was an avid reader and he had lots of books. And so I used to, when he wasn't looking, read a few. Maybe I shouldn't have been, but I did. And I just got this, it's not an obsession, it's just an interest. I do like true crime. And what's your other hobby? Do you have any hobbies? What's your hobby? I'd like to know. Oh, and also, there's a question here. What should I charge people for a cake? I don't usually answer those questions. That was from Dee Dee. When you ice a cake, would you? I got that, Natalie. I'll answer that one in a second. I'll answer Dee Dee's. I don't like getting into detail about that, Dee Dee. But I do know that it costs from start to finish. That includes cake board, cake ingredients, decent ingredients for an 8-inch cake. It costs about £25 to £30 to make. And there's a lot of waste, especially in fondant, as you all know, and as you'll find out. So that has to be taken into account. And when you're a small business, not that I am, but I'm just saying, when you're a small business, you don't have the buying power like of the Tesco's of this world or these big supermarkets. So you have to buy at cost price too, you know. Hi, Brenda. Hello. Lovely to see you, Brenda. Hope you are well. Natalie, I remember your question. I hope I'm remembering your question. Yeah, well, I do both. I can do both. Sometimes I just put the cake, for example, my giant cupcake will just go on the board. All right. But if you wanted to, you could put a very thin cake board. Yeah, very thin cake board under the cake if you're unsure. I won't be, because I'm doing a giant cupcake and I'm just going to plonk it on and decorate it from there as well. But if you're still a little bit nervous and apprehensive, just use a thin cake board and you can decorate it separately then. And then when you're ready and you're ready just to add your embellishments, just stick a little bit of royal icing on there or a little bit of jam, depending how far it's having to travel, and just sit it on. And sit it on that way. So I hope that answers that question. I hope I got the question right, because it comes up very quick and then flashes away. Yeah, so that's what's coming up. So I will be doing some more foodie stuff. I will be doing my cake. I'm making my own birthday cake. You'll find that you probably end up doing your own, but it's great practice, especially when you're learning, and you use every opportunity you can to give it a go. And that's how I used to do it. I started making everybody's birthday cakes, and family and friends, and that's how I started, because I needed to practice, and without a cake you can't. I mean, buying dummies is a good way forward, but I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial. I answered your query. That's excellent. That's excellent. I hope you've enjoyed this. I know that sometimes my lives I babble, but when you're talking and trying to do a demonstration, sometimes I kind of go off tangent maybe. But this will dry now, and I will leave this to dry for, I would say, a couple of hours. But you can leave. I wouldn't put anything on there overnight anyway. I would leave it overnight and I would leave it there. I hope I've answered everybody else's question. What's your other hobby? What's your other hobby? Have you got any hobbies other than cake decorating? As I say, I've mentioned mine. I enjoy collecting perfume, and I also love true crime. So what's your other love? Apart from yourself. Oh dear, I try to be funny, but I'm not, am I? Right, okay. I want to thank everybody for your time. It was a quick tutorial, and I knew it would be, but I just wanted to catch up because I wanted to apologize that I hadn't been doing anything, but I needed some DIY doing, and I didn't realize that the time had gone so quickly and I hadn't actually produced anything on my channel. And I thought I must do something just to reconnect with you all. And I'm so glad I have. And thank you for dropping by and saying hi, even if you couldn't stay too long. Oh, please don't forget to hit that like. It really does help my channel grow. Yeah. And subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to head off now, and I suggest you all go back to your families. Make yourself another cuppa. Why not? I'm going to tidy up, and then I'm going to make myself a nice cup of coffee. And I hope to see you all very soon. As I say, send me your creations, please. If you've made a cake, show me. Send me, or any baking project, not necessarily the recipes that I put out there. I'm just interested in food in general. I eat far too much of it too. Well, thanks for your time. Thanks everyone for joining. And if you have any other questions that I haven't covered today, please just drop it in the comments below. Thanks for your time, everybody. Bye.